Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this Tuesday's episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and today we are hitting on day 7 of the Chicago Bears training camp practices, the first one in pads. A very exciting day. Things were heating up just like the weather in Chicago. Happy August. Things are getting a little crazy because football is almost back, baby. The Chicago Bears have not seen Teven Jenkins for the 5th consecutive practice, along with news that he is being actively shopped around the NFL, that he is drawing interest from multiple teams based on his potential still, not on who he is. So pretty much they're saying that he could get a draft pick, most likely not going to get a second for him because, he did flash success last year, but unfortunately he is being actively shopped due to not getting along with Bears coaching staff. We'll get to more of that in a little bit. And speaking of the offensive line, the Bears keep shuffling the offensive line. And today, Matt Eberflus brought refs to practice. The first practice in pads, first practice has refs. So excited that things are getting moving forward for our Chicago Bears. But before we hit on more, we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Stupid Car Tray. Tired of your pizza topping sliding, office coffee distracting you while driving, grease and other stains getting on your seat, or you're just enjoying a game on the couch and don't want to lean over? Look no further than the Stupid Car Tray. Visit www.stupidcartray.com and use discount code J16 to get 16% off your entire order. Link in the description. We love the Stupid Car Tray, especially on these hot summer days where we want to have our canteen with us and keep our water nice and cold. The new cup holders are amazing. They hold giant Yetis, mugs, you name it, they can hold it. So make sure that you go to www.stupidcartray.com today and use code JSHY, that's JAYCHI, to get 16% off your first order. Link is in the description. So let's start off with Matt Eberflus today. He pushed the team today hard, according to reports. Clay Harbor was at practice today, said that guys were gassed, but not to a concerning standpoint. It was just showing guys were being put to work, and Eberflus was challenging them, calling them out, telling them that they could do better, also giving some harsh criticism. That's what Al-Qaeda Muhammad said yesterday. Eberflus is going to bring to this team, and he's already showing it in front of fans. So good to see that. I love hearing that from a coach because a coach should be pushing their guys. A coach should be making their team better. And that's what Matt Eberflus has already brought to this team. Never really felt that with the other guy, not saying his name, Ron. So, overall, I think that Matt Eberflus is doing a fantastic job. And also conditioning won't be an issue with these guys. That's something that you always want to hear so guys aren't gassed, and they're able to play out those long, hard games against Green Bay, Minnesota, even Detroit. Watch out for Detroit. Just going to put that out there real quick. But let's hit on the big topic of today. A lot of you guys have been wondering about it. A lot of you guys have been reaching out. Teven Jenkins. So we said this yesterday, but according to David Kaplan of NBC Chicago, there has been a high disconnect between Jenkins and the Chicago Bears coaching staff, along with the front office and especially offensive line coach Chris Morgan. The Bears are actively shopping, according to reports, Teven Jenkins with multiple teams that still see a lot of potential behind him. A 2021 second-round pick for the Chicago Bears, in which the Bears moved up to get Jenkins. They will take what they can get for him, so clear a little bit of cap. Okay. Unfortunately, this is just my opinion, and this is how I see the situation, is Jenkins came to Chicago with a lot of promise. Unfortunately, with the back injury, was given the starting opportunity, started to prove himself toward the end of the season. And then Matt Eberflus comes in, whole new coaching staff in front office, and pretty much demotes him out of OTAs. This has been going on since OTAs that Teven Jenkins have been running with the twos. So I don't know what's going on with him and Chris Morgan personally. I've been checking Twitter, and you guys know me. I check Twitter while we have been recording in the past. So I'll keep a lookout for you guys. But again, I haven't seen too much why. But let's keep going, moving forward. There was a lot of new shuffling on the offensive line. So just to kind of start with things, rookie Braxton Jones was at left tackle. Riley Reiff was at right tackle with the ones to start off the day. The rookies are also, we drafted 4 rookie linemen. The rookies are starting to understand their positions and where the Bears want to have them at for a couple of days consistently now. Braxton Jones has been at left tackle. Jaquan Carter has been at right guard. Zach Thomas has been at left guard, and Doug Kramer has been at center. So, good to see that these guys are starting to understand their position. Doug Kramer was pretty much a lock. He is a center by far. He's always been a center. I mean, if you have to move him, you have to move him, but he knows his spot, which is good because these guys are going to be able to know their depth position, and the coaches will also be able to know where to throw them in case they need them. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Had a little bit of lunch before this. Just wanted to clarify why I'm stopping myself. But it was a rough day overall for the offensive line, which is still going to happen. But, reporters are saying this unit looks better than last year because last year was not good, as we all know. But there was a lot of pressure in sacks given up versus 11 from both the ones and the twos. So both units struggled today. And also the first play of red zone drills for Justin Fields resulted in a sack. That's why we have Trevis Gipson on the thumbnail today. He had himself a big day today. We'll get into that in a minute. But man, not a good start for this offensive line in regards to the expectations, but they're getting there. This is a whole new unit, new coach, new scheme. They'll be there. Don't worry, guys. It's only day 7 of training camp. Let's go to the wide receivers and tight ends real quick. Tight end Ryan Griffin was a little eager today, had 2 false starts in the red zone, but he made up for it with a touchdown catch from Justin Fields in the end zone over Jaquan Brisker. Also had a very good day blocking, according to reporters and coaches. That's what we brought Griffin in for, to be a blocking tight end. He's doing a pretty darn good job so far out of the gate, so happy to hear that. Tight end Kmet also had a very nice day, challenging defensive backs and showing off pretty well. Had a couple nice snags, and he's really flashing that he can be a whole new player in this new scheme and that he's being used properly. So happy to hear that our preseason, who's on the rise is going well so far with Kmet. So we're happy to hear that, and keep staying tuned for more information on him. Good news from a couple new guys today. Wide receiver N'Keal Harry beat out Kyler Gordon in a one-on-one drill for a very nice touchdown snag. Overall, I'm happy to hear that because he's on the redemption tour. The Patriots got rid of him, thought he couldn't be the receiver that they got him for. And we did trade a 7-round pick. He's definitely not worth a 7-round pick. He's showing that he's definitely worth his potential. And I think he just needed a new change of scenery. Wide receiver Velus Jones Jr. is fast, by the way, if you didn't know that. He has cooked nearly every single defensive back during training camp so far, according to Matt Eberflus. And he is truly becoming that deep ball threat that can outbeat any defensive back. And Justin Fields is one of the best cannons in the league, most accurate deep ball throws in the league as well. Velus Jones Jr. and him can be a very dangerous combination coming up this season. And then finally, Daz Newsome continues to impress, the second-year man out of North Carolina. Unfortunately, was injured a lot last year and then placed on the practice squad. He is really fighting for a roster spot. With our current wide receiver group, it's going to be hard to tell who's going to make this roster and who's not. But Daz Newsome has definitely impressed a lot of fans and coaches so far, so stay tuned for that. Justin Fields had himself a pretty nice day today. Luke Getsy started rolling out some new packages for him, especially quarterback run packages when guys are not open downfield. When you got 4.44 speed on a 40, you want to take advantage of that. Justin Fields is definitely doing that with Luke Getsy. Today went really well for the quarterback, and also he had a couple nice throws as well. Let's go over to the defense, starting with an injury update. The Bears activated safety Dane Cruikshank and is now able to practice. He was dealing with some injury issues, and he is known as a tight end's worst nightmare due to his size at the safety position. Can be a really nice step guy or even a starter potentially, depending on how the direction of the team wants to go this year. But happy to hear that he is back and getting into the swing of things. They're not going to have him going full out just yet, but it's very likely that he will in the near future. Going to the defensive line, it's kind of stated earlier, Trevis Gipson had himself a day. He was in the backfield all day, including the rest of the defensive line. So there's good and bad. It shows that we have an aggressive defensive line, but it shows that our offensive line has a lot to work to go into. So good to hear that the defensive line is still being mean. Alan Williams has said it before that he gets to, be with the monsters of the Midway as their defensive coordinator. And so far, the monsters up front are doing a pretty darn good job. 2 more quick things going on the DBs today is that rookie Elijah Hicks out of South Cal is impressing so far at camp. Head coach Matt Eberflus in an interview himself called out Hicks, saying, "I really like how he moves on the field. He is doing a great job for this roster so far." Getting the attention from the head coach as a rookie is always pretty impressive, especially with a guy who can play the dual defensive back as a safety or corner. So very excited to see him doing that. I could see him being a special teams guy this year, or a very special, kind of like that Sharon McManus of the Bears had for a long time, because he is able to play it all, but a good depth guy as well. Jaquan Brisker had a couple nice pass deflections today, as he has the last couple days, especially showing he can take on bigger wide receivers. Kindle Vildor, someone we have criticized a lot during Bears season last year, is showing out at camp. But want to put a little, warning out there is that he impressed at camp last year, and unfortunately he had a rough 2022 or 2021. But I still believe in him. I still believe that he can make this roster and be an impact. He was a leader in college, And, unfortunately, his size doesn't help him, but he can still be a ball player on this team. Finally, Eddie Jackson has been playing very well in the Matt Eberflus system. A couple pass breakups today, a couple interceptions over the last couple of practices. He did get burned once by Kmet, but he is showing a lot of improvement from what he has dealt with the last couple seasons. I'm excited for Eddie Jackson this upcoming season. And finally, going into special teams real quick, is that Velus Jones Jr., Daz Newsome, Chris Fink, Dante Pettis, and Eddie Jackson all return punts today. So sounds like they're trying to figure out who's going to be the best for the position, but I'm excited overall to see where they go with. But that's it for day 7, first day in pads. Very exciting to be able to talk more about plays and hits and everybody going out there and having a good time. So if you're at practice or you're at camp, send us pictures, send us videos, send us tweets. We'd love to call you out and bring you onto the show. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Justin Up Here in Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and we'll see you guys next time.